everybody. Here with the science behind cooking the most perfect pasta ever and having all your utensils in the perfect position in your kitchen is Dan Kohler.
I'm not going to
That was unbelievable.
Listen,
We're starting.
You should, did
Okay.
A lot of us believe some common myths about pasta. Number one, that you should be cooking it in as much water as possible.
Right.
That it should be at
Yeah.
a rolling boil the entire
boil.
time.
Yep.
And that you should stir it so none of the noodles stick so that you don't get this clumpy mess,
Correct.
right?
Perfect.
Well,
Well done.
today, thanks to science, we're actually going to break down all of those because they're all wrong.
What?
So
But that's
let's-
what it says on the
sorry,
back
what?
of the package.
I know, and the package is lying to you. But I would never lie to you, Deb.
No, you would not.
So let's start with that first one. How much water should we use?
how much water do you use?
Okay, most packages will tell you 6 quarts of water to 1 pound of pasta. So if we're talking what you have, a little strozzapreti or
Okay.
penne or rigatoni, any of those, 6 quarts of water for 1 pound of pasta. Now the reason we think that works is because when you bring this up to a boil, it's a large thermal mass. So that when you add the pasta in there, it doesn't lose its temperature as quickly, we think,
Yeah.
right? And then it'll come back to a boil much more quickly because there's the ratio of water to pasta is much
Exactly.
higher on the water side. All of that is wrong.
Why?
Actually,
This is
if
why
you
I don't cook.
if you cook in just like a 2-quart saucepan, if you fill this up with water, it's about 1.5 quarts with a pound of pasta in here. Yes, the temperature is going to drop a little bit lower when you add the pasta in because there's less of a thermal mass, but it will also come back to a boil much quicker. It's so much more efficient to cook with less water. Also, the amount of time it takes to boil 6 quarts
Long
of water,
time.
it's a
Yeah.
long time. You're wasting a lot of time, and you actually have to plan ahead then even for something as quick as pasta. But with 1.5 quarts, it doesn't take that long to boil this. So let's
You're saying 1.5 quarts per pound?
per pound. So
Yeah.
if you're
Okay.
cooking less pasta, obviously,
Right.
less water. Now, for me, here's the perfect formula for cooking pasta. It's really as easy as this. I'm going to use for a pound. If I'm saying a pound of penne, 1.5 quarts of water. That's 6 cups in this. I'm going to bring it up to a boil. Then I'm going to salt it. I'm going to dump the pasta in, and as soon as it comes back up to just a bare simmer, we're not looking for a rolling boil. Shut the heat off. Put a lid on it, and
Stop it.
walk away as many
Hold
minutes
on.
as you want it to be cooked. You don't need the heat on, and you don't need to be stirring it anymore. One more stir once it comes
But
to a
you
simmer.
have to stir, right?
Once it comes to a simmer, all you're going to do is give it one quick stir because above 180 degrees, all of the starch molecules from that pasta will begin to burst. Water boils at 212 degrees. Once they're burst after about a minute or two, they can't stick to each other anymore. So it's this myth that if you don't keep stirring, they're going to glom on. After about a minute or two, they actually can't. All of that starch is in the water already. And let's talk about that water because actually it's a chef's secret weapon.
It is.
Every chef will tell you that using pasta water is the best way to finish a sauce. But if you've cooked your pasta in 6 quarts of water, your pasta water is not actually that powerful. So this is what it'll look like if you cook a pound of pasta in 6 quarts. It's basically almost as clear as tap water. There's no starch in here. It's not going to help emulsify your sauce at all. So I want to show you, this is half that. If I cooked a pound of pasta in 3 quarts of water, we're getting closer, right? This
Right.
is actually a much thicker pasta water, and this will help you emulsify your sauce much better. But you can do better. This is what it looks like if you cook a pound of pasta in just 1.5 quarts of water. And this is all you need to finish off the dish. What you guys are eating right now, the strozzapreti with pecorino and burrata and fennel and lemon. What you'll see here, this pasta water actually gets in the way of fat molecules. So if you're making a sauce and you find that it separates all the time and the fat rises to the top, all you need is a little bit of really thick pasta water to stir in, and it emulsifies the sauce at the very end. That is truly a chef's secret weapon to making a creamy sauce.
Just at the very end, you put it
At
in?
the very end, you're going to stir that together and then serve it. But you don't have a good secret weapon if you use too much water.
Because then it's too runny. I mean,
My
Dan,
mind is blown right now.
isn't he so smart?
I do a lot of cooking, so I never thought of that.
Just remember, less water, less time, less energy.
Right.
Yeah. Love you, Dan Kohler.
Wow. Eat more, though.
Yeah. You make me feel so much more smarter. So much more smarter.
Wow.
Are you guys stick around? We come back, more from the family.
But no more pasta.